Welcome ARCRVA viewers. On today's video, we tested out 3 of the cheapest solid state drives we could find. Now, when we say cheap, I mean either we find the drive brand new for cheap or with $5 some percentage off type of deal. So here we go. For our first drive, we chose the King Diane. I have a feeling I am not even pronouncing that right. It is a 32 gig solid state drive. Now, this drive, I'm going to say, is a very good gray area right now. Because 32 gigs will get you an operating system install, maybe a program or two, okay? It's not going to get you much room. But if you need it for an OS, hey, worked great. Now, we did read some user reviews on this drive and determined that this would really be our first pick. For a few reasons. First of all, people said the drive was as slow as a mechanical hard drive. Now, for those of you who don't know, I gotta get on my shelf back here. This is a mechanical hard drive. This is also a mechanical hard drive. Okay? They have a platter in each of them. They have a reading head, an arm, and a spindle. These are mechanical, not hybrid. Now, on that first note, we found nothing but far from the truth. The King Diane performed well outside of the parameters of a mechanical hard drive. So, to give you an idea, the King Diane uses a MLC memory component with a serial ATA2 interface and uses a Silicon Motion controller as well. Now, we ran 3 tests, and we found that the average between all 3 tests for the sequential reads and the sequential writes was 219 reads faster than a mechanical hard drive and 52 sequential writes. Now that one's a bit debatable. That is about as slow as a mechanical. Hypothetically here, I'm being a bit exaggerated, but I digress. Now, it's not slower, it's actually faster. Now, it is slower than the next 2 drives you see here because it is using an older interface of serial ATA2, which, if I recall, is 3 gigs per second, or gigabits per second. Now, that being said, it's cheap, it's effective, it has a questionable lifespan. However, we only paid on eBay for this drive alone, right here, $19.99. We found the drive on Newegg. It wasn't as cheap as I thought we could get it, so I went to eBay and bam, right there it is, $19.99. So, it performed quite well. Is it a good upgrade for a really old system? Yes. It is an acceptable upgrade. For our second drive, we chose the Silicon Power 60 gig solid state drive. Now, this one had a bit better consumer reviews, so I really wasn't looking at it for that. This one actually caught my eye for the sheer fact of price. Now, years ago, to give you an idea, to get 60 gigs worth of solid state drive, you had to pay an arm and a leg. And probably even had to sell your soul even. I'm not sure which of all that you had to do. But this drive is actually a lot better than the King Diane, but let's get into why. First off, this drive cost us $27.99. And we got this from Newegg, literally. So, who might argue with it? You know, it's 60 gigs, it's about a 50 cents a gig, maybe. My math is going to be way off on it. So, for that one, we performed the same 3 tests. Sequential reads, sequential writes, and added everything together, divide by 3, you get your average. Now, this drive alone performed well in some other areas. I didn't think it was even possible. That being said, this drive uses a 3D TLC memory component. It is serial ATA 3 or serial ATA 6 gigabits per second for its interface. We were not able to find out what the memory controller was on it. Like the King Diane here, it uses Silicon Motion. We were not able to find out what this one used. I even reached out to the company and I could not get a specific answer with more details. They said, go to our website. Well, I've been to your website, Silicon Power. It would be nice to know what this drive is actually using because, wow! I am amazed. Because this drive alone, this drive, outperformed my own reactor drives. Oh man, I'm ashamed to even be saying this. Oh. It did 499.68 megabytes per second average sequential read. My God, that's fast. And it did a sequential write average of 203.3. Now, yes, it was slower than my reactor drives in that area. Yes, it is slower writing. But man, if you want that fast gaming time and that load speed, go for it. Both of these drives so far do come with a 3-year warranty, the King Diane and the Silicon Power. So, what about the Patriot Burst, you ask? Well, that's where it gets interesting. You see, it cost us, if I recall correctly, it was $36.99. It's actually back up, and I actually looked at this yesterday. I have to actually read back on this because we wrote this review like weeks ago. It was supposed to be recorded weeks ago, but I digress. We would have paid $36.99 for the Patriot Burst, but because we got it on sale with $5 off, we only paid $31.99. So that's why it was chosen for the 3rd running. As for consumer reviews and everything else on it, everything looked great. It had an 11 at the time for the reviews. So at the time that this was all written up, it had 11 reviews. Well, guess what, Newegg? Here's my review. Guess what, Patriot? Here it is as well. The Patriot Burst 120 gig solid state drive performed average, and I really don't know why. It could very well be the controller that they're using. It is using a Fission S11 series controller. It is also serial ATA 3 or 6 gigs per second. It only was able to achieve 316.61 megabytes per second average sequential read. I thought this drive was honestly gonna run. I really did, as far as the speed goes. However, it did do a lot better than the silicon powered on the sequential write, coming in at almost, and this is where I'm depressed about it, but I'm excited about it. It came in almost at its sequential read for its write. For the sequential writes, it came in at 279.1 megabytes per second on a sequential write. Now, all three of these have a 3-year warranty. Not bad for their prices, right? Well, let's really look at it then. So, we've got the numbers already. You know, 219 and 52 sequential read to write. We've got 499.68 to 203 sequential read write. And then on this one, we've got 316.61 sequential read to 279.1 sequential write. Now, all three drives have the same amount of warranty. We weren't able to find much on this one. I did my best. I wish Silicon Power, you guys would give exactly what your memory controller is. Oh well. But honestly, the winner out of all of these would have to be the Patriot Burst. And I'm going to tell you why. The Patriot Burst is a more balanced drive. Even though the silicon powered does have a much faster read, it does make for reading things faster, loading things faster, and everything else. It has a slower write time. When I look at a solid state drive, I look for a balance. My reactor drives tend to read at 500 something megs a second, give or take. They tend to write at 300 something megs a second. So for a 250 gig solid state drive in the Ryzen build and 3 of them, that's actually not bad at all. That's actually a very balanced drive. So what we're seeing here is, as we're going up in capacity, our read is getting faster. But the higher we go, we're balancing out more. That is why the Patriot, honestly, it gets a 5 stars from me. Because it is a balanced drive. Right now, if I remember correctly, you can get it on Newegg for $37.99. It's got a 3-year warranty. It's got a 2 million mean time before failure hours. Out of all of these drives, it's the only one that has that. These both have 1.5 million time before failure. So, to say that, you know, the King Diane is slower than a mechanical drive, it's not. It's faster. It just seems the same. The silicon power, it's a little bit more expensive, but is it worth it for the $27.99? No. The Patriot Burst, is it worth it for the price you can probably go on Newegg right now and get it for? Between $31.99 and $37.99? Yes. So I would say go buy that drive if you want to move from a mechanical up to a solid state and you're not really worried about spatial constraints, or you just need a small solid state to go in build for a child, or you just need to get back up and running, or you're going to put it in a laptop or something. It'll work great. You'll be happy with it. I'm impressed with it. I'm saddened by it, but I am impressed with it because I thought it was going to win overall. You know, the reads and the writes. So, like the video if you like it, hate it if you hate it, and as this is the end of this video, I've got an announcement to make. I just checked the videos for the last year, and I don't know how this happened. I really don't. I'm shocked it happened, but in 9 months since we posted the RCA tablet review, it has 2,074. Let me double check that because I got the numbers here in front of me. It has officially I had the numbers in front of me. Yes, it does have officially, as of yesterday around 8, 9, 10 o'clock, it had 2,074 views in 9 months. I'm shocked. I didn't think that video was going to get that much. But, that's it, guys. Again, like it if you like it, hate it if you hate it. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will see you next time with another review here on ARCRVA. And don't forget to post in the comments below asking for, if you want a self-help video or you want to see if we can get a particular review done on a particular item. Don't hesitate to ask. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? We're only broke.